how's it going? So today I am working on running the hard lines for my brake system for the 68 fastback coyote swap build. If you haven't been following the videos, I bought this car in October of 2018. It was wrecked in the early 80s. It sat outside for many years. It was really rough. I pretty much replaced everything, quarters, inner and outer wheel wells, trunk floor, rear rails, tail light panel, full floorboard, the transition pan, the firewall, everything from the front clip forward. I used the Mustang long subframe independent front suspension, their engine bay panels, and the rest of the sheet metal was Dynacorn or CJ Classics from CJ Pony Parts. The Griffin radiator and fan setup from Mustangs to Fear. The Vintage Air front runner system for air conditioning and hydraulic power steering. The steering rack is off of a 0304 Cobra. And the brakes, I have a Willwood master cylinder. It's kind of hard to see here. And proportion valve. I'm running my hard lines right down on the inside through the hole where the emergency brake cable would typically go, and running down the subframe connector and up to the rear. Now this is where I stopped today because I'm waiting on my soft line that's going to mount to the body and then go to the rear. I had to order that yesterday. It should be here tomorrow, and then I can run my hard lines from the calipers to the block, and then I'll be done with the rear. And I'm going to start working on my front lines. I haven't run any of my hard lines for the front brakes yet. So some of the tools I used today, let me start with the materials. I bought this nickel copper line from my local parts store, and it looks good. It's really easy to bend, it's easy to cut, it's easy to flare. I really like the way it's working so far. I definitely recommend it. Using a flare tool with the little spring-loaded cutoff wheel, it works great. And for bending, I got a couple of tools here. Just set up for my larger bends, and this nice handheld plier style for the smaller bends works really good. The line clamps I'm using today, I bought off of Amazon last week. You can see that these, I think they were 10 or 11 bucks for a 4-pack. I had to buy 3 packs. I actually ordered a couple of more so I can do the front lines tomorrow once they come in. But these things work great. They come with a little threaded screw that's made for hard mounting somewhere. So in order to mount that, you'll need a 1/8 drill bit, and it's a 4mm by 7 tap or 0.7 tap, but that's working great. It's holding the line really tight. No worry about wiggling around or chafing or anything like that. That's all I have for today. I'll post another video up once I finish the front brake lines, and I really need to get back into the wiring. I've been fighting that for a few weeks. I got the painless chassis harness, and used My Time Motorsports to cut up the engine harness to make a setup for me instead of going with the Ford Racing control pack. So a little simpler, and I wanted to do some custom stuff. I changed the routing for, typically your wiring would have your ECU right up here in the engine bay, and I didn't want that, so I had the wires extended so I could run them back through the firewall. And I'm going behind the kick panel there in that box that's made by Mustangs to Fear as well. Highly recommended if you check out their site at mustangstofear.com. I bought a lot of parts from them. It's made my swap go a lot smoother. Great people to deal with. Here's the Willwood master cylinder and prop valve setup. I had to cut the firewall a little bit, actually move the master cylinder over about 1 inch to the driver's side and up about 1/2 inch. And then I machined a small angled plate to kick the master cylinder up about 7.5 degrees to keep it off the valve cover. And then right above that, you can see the cable clutch conversion setup from Mustang Steve. I previously installed their lower bearing for the steering column, which was great. The clutch setup was just as good. It comes with the adjustable block there, and then also the quadrant. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from here, but it's the quadrant that welds on top of the clutch pedal to accept the cable. Really cool kit, came with everything you need. And then I've actually got it bolted there so it doesn't wobble around, and then comes right through into the T56 6-speed. So that's it for today. Make sure you're subscribed to follow along with the build, and thanks for watching.